children. All right, I transferred my drawing onto the slab. And it's really rough. It doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to be carving and removing and maybe adding a little more clay here and there. But the first thing that I'm going to do is I marked off, I know that this area is going to be my foreground. This is the highest spot. So I'm going to add clay on top of here. And again, I can always remove clay as this gets leather hard. It's much, and you're going to have your slab dry to leather hard. It's much easier to carve when it's leather hard, but there's like a window of opportunity when it's leather hard. Before it gets bone dry leather hard, you want it to be wet leather hard. And you need to keep it hydrated with spray bottles. Otherwise it's going to get too hard and then you can't carve it anymore. So I've scored this whole area, and this is something that I want you guys to start doing. I think the slip is too much of a mess, and I don't really think there's any benefit to using slip. So start getting in the habit of just using water instead of slip. Maybe we'll just start keeping water in those buckets and paintbrushes, and the water will get dirty and it'll be a little bit like slip, but you could just use plain water. I almost never personally use slip. I always just use water anyway. So why don't you guys use water too? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I don't have to be very precise with this. I am going to squish out some clay and score the one side. What I don't want to do, so you do need to have kind of a flat, even surface that you're going to attach. If there are air pockets in there, you're going to create something that's going to blow up. Okay, so I'm going to gently tap that down, and that looks like a lot of clay, doesn't it? Again, I can always remove it later, but once it gets bone dry or leather hard, it's hard to add clay back on. So I'm going to add much more clay than I think I'll actually need so that I have plenty of room to carve later. So this is my foreground. Oh, I didn't score that. Oh well. This clay is really, really soft. It's probably fine. But just to be on the safe side, we'll score this one. If the clay is really soft, you can get away with kind of just squishing it on like this. So I'm going to continue doing the rest of this. So let me show you, camera lady, what I've got here. Okay. Now, I know that this tree in the middle here is going to be my middle ground, and what I'm probably going to do, just to be on the safe side, is score some of these areas as well. And water them. And I'll put a little bit of clay on top. Okay? Not as much as I'm doing here, so I'm probably just going to make coils and add those on so that I have a little bit of room, so that I'm not forced to only carve. So now, once this sets up to leather hard, probably today, when you get your slab rolled out and it's on the board, add your clay in the same day. Don't wait until tomorrow because it might be a little bit too hard. Get it all added on the same day. Then bag it a little bit loosely so that some air can get to your project overnight, and then when you come in the next day it'll be more leather hard. And then I'm going to start going through and slowly carving away some of these areas. Again, you don't want to go too deep because you'll end up cracking your project. Any questions? Did I nail it? Do you understand what we're doing? Okay, cut!